Welcome back to another video. Make sure you all smash the like button right now. It's ready to do. You could have done it already. I really would appreciate it if you smash the like button. This is support the channel, support the consistency, just support the nature of loving human beings in this world, man. Let's get into the cut. All right, so obviously he have a big head. This is actually one of the easiest cuts in the world to cut. Besides the fact that his hairline already looked like it's pushed back because his forehead is so big. So basically, he kind of, I don't know, man. Y'all know. Let's get into it. So right now we just basically debulking, aka cutting down the hair, trimming it down to wavelength, pretty much. So his waves will basically pop out. This cut is fairly simple. You just basically trimming it down, and then you pretty much give a low fade on the sides and the back. Well, the back is low, but it's just because of his. It's a low fade all around, basically, essentially, and then cut his hair down to wavelength. That's pretty much what this cut is. He also have a bald, like he growing a bald spot. He growing a bald spot. Not growing a bald spot, but like he got a bald spot. So that's typically what you're seeing right now in at the crown of his head, like the middle part at the top. But you just keep on debulking until you get that perfect length that you want. You know what I'm saying? And brush as you go, So we're brushing as we go so we can actually see what hair exactly we still got on his head, and also just to bring out the waves that he already had before he had the haircut. It's just we bringing them out. You know what I'm saying? We're bringing the ocean out, and that is what it is. You feel me? So right now we're preparing for the low fade I was talking about earlier. You know what I'm saying, Ski? Now with the low fade, you kind of want to stay low. You don't want to get too high with it. And you just want to make sure you got your lines, your guiding lines in the perfect spot. And his fade is kind of at a different angle than most, but it's still a low fade at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying, Ski? So you can already tell pretty much how you can see how low, what I meant by low fade. Like it's literally like it's this type of haircut to make it perfect. You just gotta have the length right so the waves could pop, and then basically the fade has to be low but in a perfect spot where you see the fade and perfectly blend it out. But you also you can't push him back because he already pushed back. But I mean, his hair is not pushed back, his head is, but you get the gist. That's just what it is. When you have a client like this, you just kind of got to focus on the haircut itself. And then on the other side, we literally doing the same thing. So right now, this is being sped up. You just basically want to take your time with it and understand how many guards you have to use in order to get the fade that you're trying to traject yourself to get. And in this case, we're doing a low fade. So you got to make sure you understand exactly what that is. So now we're working with the back, and the back is pretty much almost the same thing. We balding out the bottom, debulking, and then we also setting our guidelines in order to capture the fade that we want to capture at the perfect back spot. You know what I'm saying, Ski? For reals. These cuts are super easy because you just quickly fading and then detail working after, and then you pretty much, you know what I'm saying, lining up detail. So you'll go in with pencil, and then you pretty much will line that up as well to make the hair line pop on top of the waves with the fade. And there you go, a crazy haircut. You know what I'm saying? You haven't liked the video yet, that's highly disrespectful. If you're watching this far, you still ain't liked the video. So you might as well just like the video now. So you can see what I was talking about as far as his lining being pushed back, which technically his lining is not being pushed back. his forehead just make his liner look bad. So line up, we going with the spray just to have the hair in shock and pretty much still while also being down. And now we're pretty much just going at his lowest point and pretty much going straight down after reaching that. You pretty much want to go, you pretty much knocking off all the extra excess hair, while also making sure the line is super duper crispy clean. You can already see the haircut is going to come out crazy nice, neat, and perfect. It's kind of weird because the placement of his hair is uniquely different. Right now we're going in with a little bit of enhancements. Enhancements is basically to darken out the lining of anyone's head. Just basically to darken the light spots, because some people naturally have them, and also it's just basically to make the haircut, aka hairline, pop. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to use too much. You want to use the perfect amount when it comes to enhancements. Some people actually also decline them, so you also want to make sure you could work without using enhancements. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Right now it's just basically detail work, like I mentioned earlier. With the pencil, you want to make sure you go in with the perfect color to match the skin tone, to make sure it pop off of the color of the skin. And you basically want to go out and do that. And then also, if you have a client that have waves, you want to make sure you go in like you see here, and pretty much detail in cutting, trimming the extra excess hair that's creeping up at the top. This is the before and after. Y'all let me know, rate it in the comments 1 through 10.